Hi folks, Larry Winget here, back with another episode of Ask Larry Anything, the YouTube series where you can ask Larry Winget anything in the world you'd like to know, and as long as your question is of general interest to most of the folks who tune in here, I would be happy to answer it. Now remember, of general interest, I just went through about a dozen of these and threw them away because the question was so specific that there was no way in the world to answer it where anybody in the world other than you who asked it could learn anything from it. That's not fair. It's not fair to the people who tune in here and would like to learn something, and yet they can't because your question was just so specific. So, you understand what I'm talking about. Let's get right to it. Today's question. And by the way, it's an interesting question based on what I just said because it seems like this is a very specific question, but I'm going to prove to you that it isn't. Larry, I've been in the Army for the past 20 plus years. I am retiring in 98 days and will be self-employed. Being an entrepreneur is pretty much 180 degrees from being a soldier. The days of being told where to go, when to be there, and what to do are over. Since I will be on my own, what are some daily tasks that I should focus on accomplishing that will help me out in this new endeavor? Thanks for being a great mentor. All right, now you might think that's a very specific question that will only apply to this guy because, I mean, he's been in the Army for 20 plus years. Chances are you haven't. He's about to get out in 98 days. Chances are that's not the case for you. But here's why it applies to all of us. And he says in there, it's 180 degrees. Being an entrepreneur is 180 degrees from being a soldier. No, that's not true. Being a soldier requires discipline. It says that if you're going to be a soldier and stay alive, that you have to do some things and you have to do them extremely well. Well, if you're going to be an entrepreneur and stay alive in the world of business, you have to do some things extremely well. You have to focus on the value that you bring to others. Same thing in the Army. All of these things apply to everybody. So what you're going to do every single day is you're going to get up and know in advance what it is that you're going to do that day. You need to know in advance. It means you have to plan your day. You have to acquire the skills so you'll be excellent at what you do. You have to provide value to other people. You also have to, no matter how well it's planned, you have to be ready to switch gears and make a turn and go a different direction at a moment's notice. That's what an entrepreneur has to be able to do. They have to be so flexible in dealing with the demands of the market and meeting with the demands of their customers that they have to be able to spin on a dime. So there's a lot of things in common with your past and what your future looks like. You know, one of the biggest problems that entrepreneurs make is they think that just because they're passionate about what it is they're going to go into, they're going to be successful, and then they never go about getting the skills that it takes in order to be successful. I have people write me all the time, and I don't answer a lot of those questions on here because the questions are just so stupid. They say, you know, Larry, I've decided that there are a lot of millionaires in the dry cleaning business, and I want to be a millionaire, and I want to get into the dry cleaning business. I just had this question. And what does it take to be successful in the dry cleaning business? Why are you asking me that? I'm not a dry cleaning guy. I don't know anything about the dry cleaning business. Why would you ask me that question? And then I always say, after I point out that how the hell do I know what it takes to be successful in the dry cleaning business or whatever other business, the carpet cleaning business, or as an entrepreneur in this or this or this? Why would you ask me that? And then I always say, how much have you read on the topic? How many successful people in the dry cleaning industry have you gone out and interviewed? How many people have you talked to and said, what do you do to be successful as compared to what that guy down the street does to be successful? How many people have you talked to? Oh, I haven't talked to anybody. Really? Well, you're going to be a failure then. How many books have you read about marketing, about dealing with employees, about how to hire well and fire quickly? How much do you know about creating a budget? How much money do you have? Well, I haven't done any of those things. I just know I'd really like to get rich. Well, everybody would really like to get rich. What have you done to make sure that you have the skills to get rich? What have you done to make sure that you have the skills to be rich? Nothing. And so, what you're talking about in this letter is what am I going to do on a daily basis? Well, you're going to do the same thing that you've always done. You're going to make sure that you have the skills to deal with whatever you face every single day. So many people want to be successful. They talk about success. They talk, and it's not about as an entrepreneur even. They want to be really good at sales while they work for this big company. Or they want to be really successful as in the MLM industry. Or they want to be really successful just as a secretary or receptionist. They want to be successful as a teacher. Everybody wants to know how to be successful. Well, the big question is, what are you doing to make yourself better at what you do? What are you doing to make yourself better at what you do? How many books are you reading? What are you doing every single day to make sure that you're better today than you were yesterday? What are you doing? And I'm not talking about what are you talking about doing. What are you actually doing on a daily basis to make sure you are better today than you were yesterday? Do you have an answer? Well, you're supposed to fill in the blank there. That's why I stopped talking. What are you doing? Take this moment. Chances are you're not doing a damn thing. That's what most people do. Not a damn thing to make sure they're better today than they were yesterday. Yet, the only way to truly be successful in this competitive world, when prices are going down and quality is going down, and yet there are more people to do business with than ever before, you must constantly improve at what you do in order to win against other people who also do what you do. So, next time somebody asks you, what are you doing today to make sure you're better than you were tomorrow, you better have an answer. And the next day, it better be another answer. And the next day after that, another answer. Continuous improvement. Always be getting better. All right, I hope that helped. I appreciate that question, and I hope I made sure that you understood that question works for everybody who's in business today. You got to constantly be getting better. I focus on that every single day, and so should you, regardless of what you do for a living. I appreciate the question. If you have a question, write me at info@larrywinget.com. Be sure to follow me on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and all those places. And do yourself a favor, run out there and buy a Larry Winget book. I appreciate it.